Class is in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and trade fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Piper Academy. We had a exact replay of what we were talking about yesterday on the show. It's played out exactly like that. We had the golden pocket hit. We are pulling back right now. Bitcoin, some more downside coming, I think. And plus, who's buying the dip? We're going to show you who's buying the dip today right here on Piper Academy. Let's get it, guys. Classes in session. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. I am Army Piper, and we come at you every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got a great show lined up for you today, guys. We got OC. He's coming in, but he had to go get some coffee. So I'm going to talk here for a minute. We're going to go ahead and lead into some news, and then we're going to come back, bring OC up, and show you guys what we were talking about yesterday, where we are with Bitcoin today. And there might be a little teaser. We might be looking at the alt setup for the altcoins. So it's all that today on the show, guys. So stick around. Thanks for being here. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and let us know, what you guys would like to see in the chat and that you guys like this content. So let's go ahead and jump over to the news. And oh, wait, it looks like I got OC back. I can bring him up now. Here we go. OC, what's up, bro?
What's up, buddy? Not much. Just had to make myself a coffee to get started with a great weekend. And man, seems like you have a crystal ball or something there, buddy. It was exactly
it's basic fundamentals of price action, man. Basic fundamentals. This what it does. Like if you keep your finger on the pulse long enough, you'll know when something is not right. So pretty much like at the hospital when they hook up the heart monitors to you and stuff. The heart monitor is not setting off an alert because it knows that this is what's wrong. It knows that something is not right. So it knows what the norm is, and when that normal breaks outside of those ranges, then that's when it gives an alert. This is the same thing. Price action is the same thing. It's got a norm, right? And when it's doing the norm, then you can predict when to set off the alarms. And that's all we did. We looked at it yesterday, but we're going to be showing that today. But let's go ahead and jump into the news. Let's talk about that. Because that's going to be the fear and greed index today, guys. It's down to 28. Let's go ahead and jump over there and take a look at it. Sitting here at 28 today on that fear and greed index. I'm pretty sure we're going to hit extreme fear before this is all said and done. And you guys shouldn't be scared. You should be prepared. That's what we do here at Piper Academy, right? Looking here over on the green crypto bubbles. I had to move a little screen there. Sorry, it popped up right in front of my stuff. MOG up 13.6% today. We got OP up 6.3 on the daily. Phantom up 6.3% today. Tau's up 6.6. Stacks is up 6.6. Even ADA has broken out of its stablecoin cycle. It's 3.8%. Not looking too bad here on the daily. And on the hourly, we are getting a little bit of green popping in here, little 1%ers, 2%ers. But I want to point out, guys, today we got Jerome Powell. He's going to be speaking here in about 26 minutes. So we'll see how that plays out and what goes on with that. But let's go jump in and take a look at let's go back here first. Getting ahead of myself. Slow down, Piper. Bitcoin sitting at 57,970 right now, just under 58K. Ethereum has broken above $3,100. Solana sitting at about 142, and you can see here 2.2% on the daily. Any big movers on here in the top 20? No, not really. It's all in the ones and twos. Nothing to write home about except for Cardano with this 3.8 there, but I still wouldn't write home about that. ASI, guys, making a rebound. That is the Fetch Ocean Protocol AGIX combo, the merger. They are officially on here as Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, the ASI token. And it's sitting at 3.4% to the upside right now. Still nothing amazing. Arbitrum's up 5.2. So shout out to Alex O Crypto with his Matic switch over. What's Matic up today? Let's go see. Let's go see if that was a good call for you, man. Matic, where are you, Matic? Polygon right there, 1%. So yeah, hey, Good on you, Alex O Crypto, with your move over to Arbitrum there. Casper getting a little downside movement today, but I still think it's one of the most bullish looking tokens around in the market right now. Now let's take a look at these liquidations, guys. Looking over here, past 24 hours, 37,315 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $114.2 million. The largest single liquidation happened on Binance. It was Ethereum for 11.8 million bucks. So there you go. Economic calendar. We just talked about this. Fed Chair Powell speaking today in front of Congress again. Today's the Finance Committee, something or other. He's going to be talking about monetary policy. So that is something to keep an eye on and be aware of today. And then we got that 10-year note auction, guys. If the 10-year note auctions don't do well, then we could get really harsh market pullbacks. The last time we had bad auctions, that's what happened. So then tomorrow, guys, core inflation. That's going to be the big one to watch. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be coming out an hour before we go live. It is core inflation rate month over month and year over year. As of right now, projected to come in neutral on both. So we're going to be watching that tomorrow morning. And then that inflation rate looks to be dropping. So could get a pump off of that, guys. Could get a pump off of that data. So that is what we got there for news. I got some other articles that we're going to go over here later, but let's go ahead and bring OC up and let's talk about the people in the chat, because I want to say hey to them. Yeah, I love those people. I mean. Who else we got in here? Who all we got in here? We got Amy Lives Crypto in here. We got Alexandra G, Caffeinated Crypto, username. Crux of Crypto is in the house. French Toaster is in here. We got, who else is in here that I'm seeing in the chat? Mohammed. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Ninja Glock is in here. Blackie Chan is in here, and 28 of you. So smash that like button. You guys are not even at the 50% mark. You guys want 100% gains. You got to get us at least over 50% pumps in the likes. I'm just saying. OC, how you doing, man? How was your night? Did you trade yesterday on that Bitcoin call? I told you where we were heading to, and I said we'll likely reject there. So.
In fact, we have a member on Chart Prime's Discord that was looking at this. So shout out to Roberto. Roberto was exactly looking at those points. He was looking at some volatility areas. I don't have it pulled up here, but what I do have is yesterday's video from you showing it up. So, man, it was almost exactly like you predicted or like you were looking at. Also, let me see if I can show it very quick on over the Discord thing. And let's see, here we go. He was also right there on looking at it. So, well, it seems like it's a little bit on the searching area. So there we go. Here it is. Basically, Roberto was also looking at the same thing. He was also on yesterday's Piper Academy. So he was looking at your goals. So he paired with a couple of stuff there. So let's take a look at what you said and how it played out. Would you like that?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go for it. So looking at the 4 hour here, we're looking at, that's what you mentioned. I'm going to be pulling up the audio. Let me know if that played out correctly. Might have a little bit of echo. So let me know if that works.
No audio at all, but that's okay. We'll show on the chart what we were talking about there, but we'll let this run for a second because I do some highlighting here on this, and then I'll show you where we are on the chart in comparison to this, because we absolutely were looking for us to come up to that golden pocket. I said, we got this golden pocket up here, guys, little range up here. We could come and grab the liquidity from above that peak before pulling back down. And that's what we talked about yesterday. We even had TradeFly come on with his heat map here right after this, and he showed that little pocket of liquidity that was on the heat map there after that too. So that was what we were talking about yesterday, watching that big whole range there. And then we...
I lost audio from you.
There we go. That's better. And then we saw that there was a big line of liquidity on that heat map. Matter of fact, let's jump over to that heat map and just show it. There we go. Let's come bring this in. This is the heat map that we were talking about, guys. And we were looking at this liquidity all over here, sitting above this previous peak, right? I said we are likely going to head up and clean out that liquidity and then head back down. That is exactly what we're seeing happen right now. Let's just go ahead and jump into the chart and talk about it here. We came straight up to the golden pocket. did a little wick above it there, grabbed all that liquidity just like we had discussed, and now it looks like we're heading back down. We are sitting back below the 200-day exponential moving average. If you look at this on the daily, you'll see that we are literally, as we speak right now, sitting below that 200-day exponential moving average. A little wick up, grab the liquidity, pull back down. That was what we discussed, and that looks like what's going to happen here. Those levels of support below us again, guys, at 300, sitting at $53,300 right now, and then we've got this fallen channel. But I want to show you guys something that is going on here on the chart, because we have some other stories being told here. Let's go ahead and remove that down channel. Let's do that. And then let's go ahead and remove that low to high, and then isolate this top chart out here. And then let's throw this on. We've got this rising channel going on right now, and you can see it respected the levels here to create, a solid bottom. So we've got a solid bottom of touches. And then now we've got this perfect wick to the top of this, guys. This typically breaks to the downside. And so what I'm going to be watching is when we get down here to this 55.5 area, is that we break. Well, first, I'd love to see us hold it. But if we don't hold it, I'm going to be looking for a pull down to here, and then a break, a rejection, and then come down to that 300. If it holds the 300, then watch for another retest. Oh, what are you doing? Whoa, easy, sir. What are you doing? Watch for a retest on the bottom of that again. I could see us trading along this for quite a while, but be aware, we do have a new channel, which is a rising channel, which is a bearish pattern printing right now. And we're looking at this on the 4 hours. So matter of fact, if we take this over and we put it on the 1 hour, you'll see there's a lot of play here on the candles multiple times. And it's all running along that upper trend line here. So again, that's about 55.5, 55.3 range that I'm going to be watching there for the downside movement on that for a target. So that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and bring over the oscillators and show you what I'm seeing on the 4-hour oscillators. It does look like we're about to get a ribbon flip here, and we are getting that red RSI candle. So those are confirming that, giving us a little confluence for more downside movement also as we speak there. And then let's take a look at the daily and see how the daily oscillators are looking. Yeah, see, they're kind of weak. You guys see this little wave here, how it does this? That's what I'm worried about with this, doing this again and then again. So watching again, guys, that's going to be 53.3, that range on that 300-day exponential moving average that I'm going to be watching there. But I do have a little bit of hopium for you. We're going to talk about that later. Before we jump in too far into anything else, I do want to bring over this article because, guys, the German government is continuing to do Bitcoin transfers. They just moved another $638 million in Bitcoin to various entities. I'm sure some of these are over the counter, and again, that will not affect cost, or will not affect price because it's OTC. It's not on the exchange, so it comes off the system. But yeah, guys, it's 10,853 Bitcoin that they've moved over there so far on Wednesday, which is today. They once again resumed transferring that, and around 9 a.m. UTC, they transferred more than 1,127 Bitcoin. But bottom of the day, guys, you see the shirt? You guys see the shirt? HODL. HODL, and I'm going to show you why. You guys know who's buying this dip? I'm going to show you who's buying this dip. It is really simple here. Let's go over here. Let's take off that, and let's go talk about this. There's that German government sending that Bitcoin there. Actually, according to this 2 hours ago, now 5,100 Bitcoin worth $300 million. They are now left with 18,860 Bitcoin. But I'm going to show you who's buying this dip. Over the past 3 days, spot Bitcoin ETFs have seen a massive inflow of $654 million. This surge is a strong indicator of growing investor confidence. And you can look down here, guys. BlackRock picked up $121 million worth. Fidelity picked up $91 million worth. ARK Investments picked up $43.3 million, and Van Eck $3.3 million. In addition, Bitwise $4.7 and Grayscale $37.5 million. And there's some more data there, but they are the ones that are buying this dip. So you guys need to be aware of that. If you are selling, you're not hodling, you are giving them your Bitcoin at a discount price because they're definitely buying on this dip. But I do think at the end of the day, we do have a little bit more downside to go. That 53.3 is what I'm watching there. And then if we break that, as I've told you guys, 48.5 is in the chart. So, OC, let's kick it over to you, see what you're seeing there on Bitcoin. But that liquidity absolutely snatched up and grabbed there where we called it at, and we're getting that rejection now. So, what do you think? Is there support before that 300-day moving average on your chart? So,
I don't think so, although we're pretty close to those support lines. In fact, yesterday I was also talking in the class with Alex of Crypto, and we were matching pretty much a couple of support and resistance areas. I think that we all are having the same targets at sight, and that is because we all believe that Bitcoin is not bearish on the higher time frames, and we're looking where the all data is pointing out. So let me point out also at yesterday's video here where we were talking about making this possible bearish flag, right? So in fact, we added a couple of alerts as you are seeing right now yesterday on these two trend lines, and yesterday also we had sorry for that, we had that trend line being hit right here as we were expecting. So basically we are synchronized with what we're looking at, bouncing from those resistances. In fact, what I'm going to be doing is just matching now with new data what I'm seeing right here. I'm not going to be aiming at this week. Why? Because it kind of like goes against the narrative that I'm looking at this area. Nonetheless, it's still pretty much in game. So are we going to be going farther down? I don't know. I will be looking at first somewhere around this 55, 655. Too many five there. And so 55, 500, let's call it somewhere around there. And then after that, maybe a week into the 52 area. But I mean, I think we're going to be having a big fight because, as you mentioned, somebody is buying the dip. And I still, but by the way, I still have my open order at 62,900. If that gets taken, great. If that doesn't, I'll just come back in after the breakout.
You said it at 52? So right below the 53,000. Okay, well that's where we're looking at possibly a wick off of that 300-day moving average to come down there. So we've been talking about 52K for a hot minute on the show, and I do think worst case scenario is that 48.5. I don't know that we're going to hit that. I hope we don't hit that, but yeah, I do think we're definitely going to go down to that $53,000 range for that 300-day moving average. So. We had a request here in the chat. Actually, two things in the chat. One, Mark Dutch said he was looking up Whitney Houston on Google, and it sent him here. So shout out to you. That's very funny. If you know, you know. And then we also had a individual here said, Anthony Vince said, "Good morning, fam. Thanks for the information. How do y'all feel about Dogecoin?" So do you want to give them a little altcoin TA on Doge while we're here, and then we'll talk about fundamentals. After you talk about technical analysis, we'll talk about fundamental analysis. We'll jump into a little bit of hopium on Bitcoin, and then by then we should be at the top of the hour for alt. So guys, start letting us know in the chat what altcoins you would like to see today. Let's go ahead and jump over to OC.
Absolutely. So seems that we have the Dutch army here. So let's take a look at what we have in here and let's see what's going on. By the way, just a quick disclaimer. Remember that Dogecoin, it is still, for me at least, a meme coin. I know there's been talks about getting out of the meme coin spectrum and having real world case scenario, right? But at the end of it all, this is a hard fork of an old chain of Bitcoin. So just so you are aware, this could have very big implications, right? So let's just zoom out in here and see what we're looking at. We were looking at this formation to the upside. We broke it. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. Let's clean this up, and we have a new pattern formation. Once again, it's not about the breakout. It's about the retest, and off we go. Something important to know is that our prime score is very low, so it's what, 1. Yes, we're making that movement to the upside through the oscillator. Just be careful because we could be having a fake out like this. Why? If I show you this, for example, just quick tip, if you have many indicators, layer them out. This is going to help you out to use the ones that you want to see pair time, right? So going back into the point, we have two fair value gaps in here, right? Which are at the top in this area. So if I turn those off, right, we already have them right there marked, and I turn on my order blocks, you'll see that we have a loud order block, which is the hardest of them all, the strongest of them all. And then we have a high order block at the top, and then another loud order block at the top. So I believe that we could be having a week down in here, maybe going for a little bit of a movement to the upside, like week down going through the first order block. But I don't know. I'll be a little bit hesitant of breaking through the second order block, not only because it's a loud order block, but also because we're going to be going through one of our fair value gaps. And yes, fair value gaps usually tend to get filled up, right? But also, this is the beauty of layering your indicators out. If I turn my support and resistances, we also have a resistance here. And look at this dash resistance. That is the hardest of them all. Resistance right here based on our current settings right now. So as you can see, most of the reaction zone, it is up here. So be careful, because we could be having an premature roll back down, and that is because of Bitcoin rolling also back down, right? And then maybe not having that possible explosion of market or price action that you could be expecting. So are you looking for entries? If you're looking for entries, my suggestion, and not financial advice, will be enter at support, as we are on the green on the oscillator, right? And also keep in mind, we are still bearish. So favor shorts over longs always, as long as we're bearish. Other than that, not looking that bad, to be honest. Not looking that bad, to be honest. So turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Let's go take a look at one little piece of hopium here that I'm watching. I got to get this reset on the chart. 1 second. It was messing up on me. So there we go. Let's jump over here, take a look at this little bit of hopium that we do have here, guys. Something that I'm watching here on this is, if we take a look at where we are right now, we do have this little liquidation area coming in right below us here. It's going to be around 57.8. If you look down here at the big one, this is coming in about 57.1, but we're on a 24-hour chart. Let's jump over here to the 6 month and take a look at what we're seeing here. And then I'll show you a couple of articles that go with it. If you take a look right here on this heat map, guys, on the liquidation heat map, we do have this area down here that we're talking about. This is this 52, 55 to 52 down here. Down to 53,000, and it's this previous range over here, right? But what I'm watching here closely is that it's actually 49 to 52. That's the range there. We do have billions. Like I can't zoom this in because then it won't give me the accurate numbers when I bring it up, but it's like 1 billion there, 3.4 billion there, 3.3 billion there, 4 billion there, right? Pretty big numbers in this liquidation zone here for that range on that bottom side that we're talking about. But you guys see this bright yellow up here? This is a bright yellow. This bright yellow is a very heavy area of liquidation that is available. If you guys take a look here on this one, though, this is between 72,000 upwards to about $73,000 here. And these are like 5.4 billion. 6.1 billion, 6.6 billion, 3.5 billion. There's more money sitting above us than below us for liquidation. So if we do come down and we hit that area of that 52, I do think that we'll see a V-shaped recovery there off of that bottom, and this is the target that they're going to head to sometime towards the end of July, beginning of August. If I had to put something on it, said, hey, someone said, right now, you got to make a call. When does this happen? That would be what I would have to say. Of course, anything can play out however it happens, but I just want you guys to know about that. And then if we look over here at the news articles that I was talking about, guys, first of all, Anthony Scaramucci back in the news here with another Bitcoin prediction, doubling down on his end of 2024 Bitcoin prediction. He said, Mount Gox, is causing this price dip. That's one of the influencers. Plus, there's Germany and then the federal government and everything. But he does say that Fear and Greed Index entering fear territory suggests a potential buying opportunity and a possible price rebound. The past 30 days have been rather disappointing. Bitcoin's price dipped around 15%. Most significant correction occurred at the end of last week when Bitcoin plunged below 54,000 for the first time since February. One of the optimists in this entire space, Anthony Scaramucci, former White House official and firm proponent of Bitcoin, said that he's looking for Bitcoin to go to 100,000 by the end of the year. Let's double that. Let's go with Bernstein, who said they reiterate that a $200,000 Bitcoin target by the end of this cycle is absolutely in place still. They initiated coverage on 2 additional miners with the hybrid Bitcoin mining and AI data center, Core Scientific and Iron. So if you guys are watching those mining companies, that is where Bernstein is looking at heavily right now. But the analysts at the firm also reiterated their 200,000 Bitcoin price target for the end of 2025, 500,000 by the end of 2029, $1 million per Bitcoin by the end of 2023. So there's your little hopium. We do have really heavy heat maps sitting above us right now, up in that 73,000, which would put us back into the all-time high range. But I do think we need to clean out a little bit of liquidity and shake out some of these over-leveraged traders down to the downside a little bit off of those liquidations. So, OC, do we have a list of altcoins that people have put together?
Oh, absolutely. And I think you're going to love this. Remember Monday after show that you were talking about that there was not enough time for a news that you were looking at? Did you happen to have that news? Because we just had Dogecoin be request, and now Emily Leaf Crypto, shout out for Emily Leaf Crypto, she have talked about Tron. So I already have pushed that through the main chat. I don't know.
Yep, if you want I got it. Let's jump over. Well, let's jump over to your chart. Let's run with it.
All right, perfect. So first of all, I was a little bit off guard here. So let me just bring up Tron very quick. I know that's fine. That's fine. We do.
I don't remember what was the article we talked about, and I will pull that up while you're looking at the chart.
Perfect. It was about how people are transferring money.
Oh yes, yes, got it. Yep. Do the chart. Got it.
Perfect. All right, I have TRX here just in the meantime. So it seems like he's moving upward here. Why do we have it? Now, let me talk about this, right? This is a little bit of caveat that we are seeing on chart prime. Sometimes this happens, and I want to talk about, for example, this sell signal, right? Remember, the sell signals and the buy signals are trend mode. Remember what trend mode comes from? It is trend analysis. So, by the way, if you haven't heard, and I said this a little bit funny because I learned this way late in my trading career. What is the absolute best tool to measure trends? Well, then, I know it sounds obvious, but the trend line, right? So every single time that I get, there was a question like in my head, like, when is the trend broken? Well, there's a very simple, straightforward answer: when the trend line is broken. So technically, as we break the trend line right here, we are breaking the trend. Therefore, we have a sell signal because we are losing the trend line. Also, remember that we never enter on trend breakouts. At this point, we usually go for retest. And what happens? That gives us a better positioning for a short or a long position, depending on what we're looking at. As you can see, this could have been an amazing trade just by waiting for that beautiful retest, right? So far, we're having this strength signal because we are on a sell, because we lost the trend line, but at the same time, we're holding the dynamic reactor. So this is a strength signal, and also we are holding above the 0 line. Our prime score is also bullish, and our consolidation score, it is low. So do expect a little bit more movement to the upside. And man, this is looking fabulous, which is kind of like a detaching from a Bitcoin a little bit. And I think it has to do with that news that you had there. You want to talk about those news?
Yeah, let's
the
jump over
article?
to the article. Yeah, it was actually Doge that they were talking about, and we just talked about Doge.
Yes.
So we'll look at the layout on this. But guys, Dogecoin's role in Venezuelan remittances amid migration crisis. If you guys don't know what remittance is, it's where people, migrants, immigrants, they get their job, they file for a work visa, whatever they do, and then they're sending money back to their family because an extra $100 in the U.S. Is food for quite a while down in Venezuela, right? So this article was from 2 days ago, and I was going to talk about this, about Dogecoin. This is what we talk about in crypto all the time. We talk about what is the real purpose of crypto, and when we get outside of the mindset of, our Western developed infrastructure systems that we have. Guys, there's a lot of people out there that don't have banking, don't have ways to move money cheaply. And if you look at things like Western Union, it is astronomical. I have a friend that lives down in Roatan, down in South America, Caribbean area, and they got hit by COVID pretty hard because their entire island is based on cruise ships. It's tourism, right? And there was no cruises going on. And then on top of it, they got hit right afterwards with heavy, heavy hurricanes. And so I was trying to send them monies for groceries and stuff like that. And then eventually, myself, along with other people from the community that had gone down there before, he does tourism. He's a tour guide for the island. We all got together and we helped move him to the mainland so that he could get a job at a cable company. But moving that money down there was expensive on Western Union. And if he had crypto, I would have sent it that way, but he didn't have it, guys. But I want to jump over and talk about what's going on with crypto doing this. Venezuelan migrants increasingly using Doge for remittance due to low fees. Crypto remittance made up 9% of Venezuela's $5 billion in foreign remittances in 2023. Despite market downturns, Dogecoin is valued for its practical transaction use. The popular meme-inspired coin has found an unexpected use case. Venezuelan migrants are increasingly using that to send money home due to its low transaction fees. It was about 6% of their GDP came in on remittances. And out of that $5 billion, about $461 million of it was in crypto transaction, most of that being on Doge. So, Venezuelan citizen moved to Texas in 2018, Paolo Moncrief, seeking an affordable method to send money back home. He explored options like Zelle and other money transfer services, ultimately resorted to using Dogecoin. So, guys, there is use cases for Doge, and one of them obviously being that it is a cheap way to send money internationally. And that is why we're in crypto, guys. It's fintech. It is financial technology. It's going to change the world. So there's a little use case for Doge. It wasn't Tron, but it was Doge, and we just talked about Doge, so it still fit. OC, it's all good. What do you got for us, man? Yeah.
But the point that I was making. Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
No, go. Speak on, my friend.
So I mean, the point that I was saying, I was like mind blown, right? Hey, what I was telling you, right? Dodge really to start moving. I don't know. And you mentioned, well, man, I mean, you need to realize that the Dogecoin is a hard fork of Bitcoin and does have that security, and it's cheap to move money through that way. And I was telling you, yeah, but I mean, I would be looking something like Tron that has connection to Ethereum and is also dirt cheap and has been working for a long time. So shout out to Amy because Leaf Crypto, because if you are looking at Tron, I would love to know what you're looking after, because knowing the background that you're coming from, Amy, I mean, I bet you have big news within your fingers there. And also a great YouTuber. Go watch her videos. Great information. Love how she pieced out that those videos. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty kind of like a feed one puzzle pieces that somebody requested Dodge, and then somebody requested Tron. So on Tron, I believe that exactly that's happening. I don't have the means to back this up, so just keep it as an opinion, right? That people are moving along with Dogecoin. They're moving cheaply money or crypto or even fiat.
Yeah,
and that's why we're seeing that increment of the price action on Tron.
And I think Doge just might be because it is so easy to get Doge. I mean, Tron's easy too, but if you really look at Doge, it's everywhere. I mean, even if you just have a Robinhood app and you're using it to put your money over there because you got your debit card, right? Got your debit card, you can leave it in US dollars. You got $2.5 million in FDIC to protect your money. You got your debit card to spend your USD. You can invest in stocks like Nvidia. You can buy Dogecoin. You can buy Bitcoin. It's just a one-stop shop for a lot of people. And if you're new to the space, it's very easy to use. So obviously there's better ways out there to get into all of that, but there's definitely some advantages to using Doge. It's super simple to get a hold of and super simple to move it off of there. So but yeah, I would not be using ETH. I'll tell you that. That's a HODL coin, not a Sin coin, because their gas fees are insane. But yeah, shout out to FD White in the chat. I see you, FD White, there. Looking forward to that phone call, guys. FD White and TradeFly and myself, we're going to be getting together to have a little conversation about the future of Crypto Nightcap. So very excited about that. Let's go. If you guys are excited for Crypto Nightcap, that evening show with TradeFly and FD White, let me know in the chat what you guys, throw a 1 in the chat. Throw a 1 in the chat if you want that thing to happen sooner rather than later. And let's go jump into those other altcoins here. Let me see. What else did you have in here? I think you had Fetch. Yeah, I'll go do Fetch, and then you can round back out with Optimism. How's that sound, bro?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. My friend. Let's go down and check out Fetch AI. Come here, Fetch. Where are you? Fetch. I can't fetch it. There it is. Got it. I found it. I found Fetch. We're good. Fetch is still sitting sideways, guys. Look at this. Jeez. We do have a little bit of a trend line going here. Let's go throw that on. I see a little trend. I see a trend. The trend is your friend. It does look like we got a rejection coming in off of that right now. I would watch for this to get a breakout, though, because you see these big wicks that are coming up here. I mean, they're not huge, but these are bullish pressure. There's buying pressure here for this. So watch for it to come into the dynamic reactor for a rejection, clean out a little bit of liquidity. It does look like it might be doing that, but keep in mind the 887 at $1.26 going to be a pretty harsh area here. We do have the settlement is starting to play out on all of this merger between AGIX Ocean and Fetch AI into ASI. So now that this is starting to be cleaned up and people are starting to get it happening, all of my crypto on crypto.com, my AGIX and my Fetch have all merged now. They're all under one over there. So that's happened on a lot of the exchanges. And I do think we'll start to see people that sold off to protect their money on Fetch likely going to be moving back into Fetch. Let's take a look at the daily and see how it's looking here. Nope, that's a 12-hour. Let's go to the daily. There we go. We are sitting below the 300 and the 200. We have lost the 300 also. I'm going to be watching here for this, guys. You can see here we're sitting down in the 30% range on the relative strength index. The RSI Prime turned into Heikin-Ashi candle, starting to get some nice green candle growth there. When you can see when they start to get that flip, and then upside, that is when you tend to get those little upside moves. So again, be watching for this to break up into the platinum pocket. At this level on the daily, I would be watching for about $1.39, $1.40 being that 300-day moving average. That's going to be a resistance area. Likely could come back down, hopefully grab support on the 887 before moving up. But I do think that Fetch AI is ASI, I should say, is a strong, solid project. Not financial advice, but I said these are the levels you might want to start looking at grabbing in. And I did grab up where I sold off of Coinbase and moved it over there. I did finally buy in these bottoms here. So we're looking pretty decent right now on Fetch AI and /AKA ASI. OC, let's kick it over to you and see what you got in your chart, bro.
Perfect. So let's take a look at optimism. Also, I have a couple of things on follow up on TIA that we looked at Monday. So I was just looking at the previous videos, right? But right here on optimism, I do see that I have a little bit of analysis. Let's just take a look at what happened here. We're looking at an up ranging flag. Remember, those usually out to the right. and up usually tend to break to the downside. It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. Maybe it was a little bit too short here. I should have extended this a little bit. And as you can see, our calculations were pretty much exact on that pullback. So let's see if we can pair that analysis. Let me remove everything with the next upcoming one. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is using my indicators here, right? So I'm going to be turning on my support and resistances, and what I see is that I have a breakout, retest, and off I go. I have broken through to the upside, by the way, to the most important resistance, which now becomes support. And guess where we are right now? We are against the dynamic reactor right here, and also we have a green line for either support and resistance at this point that might be preventing us to keep moving upwards, which is fine. Why? Because look at this. Remember this huge big support area, previous resistance becomes new support. So let me just now bring up the next indicator here, and this is important for me. I usually use the Market Dynamics Pro trend lines in here at macro. So I want a chart prime to give me the heads up on important trend lines, and then I just take manually care of smaller, not that important trend lines, right? And what do I have here? I have a big AF trend line. There we go. That has been broken. So once again, as I can see, that previous resistance becomes new support. So what could I maybe start expecting? Well, maybe going all the way here, having that rejection. Look at that, back to the trend line. And also what we had there, we have the previous support, and what also we have there, we have some order blocks. And then maybe if Bitcoin keeps moving upwards with that oscillator pattern, so basically not making a lower low, right? If we can make that, well, then I think we have a bright future for optimism as we have a retracement and then a push back up. So there's two things that we need to be looking at here. First, the retracement that we're looking at right now, and also the retracement on the oscillator and holding at least the zero line right down here. If I hold this position and I do not lose the 1.51, I think it's going to be going very well for optimism, maybe having a stop loss like that, and then aiming where to the next big resistance. Where's my next big resistance? As you can see, by turning on my indicators, I can go for TP1 in here, TP2 in here, and then TP3 and trailing all the way to 2.46. Guys, remember, first, we need to find that support before we start aiming at 246. And remember, always pay yourself early, right? And move your stop at entry. So other than that, turn it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Shout out to FDY. He said, I need someone to teach me how to use Chart Prime. I've mastered Market Cipher. Bro, Market Cipher works great, especially when put next to Chart Prime. They work in confluence together well. But I tell you what, FD, I'm going to connect you with OC on Discord, and we're going to get you set up with Chart Prime. And since you're going to be on the night show, that way you can promote it, because that is one of the sponsors here on the channel. Not saying that you can't use Market Cipher at all, but you can absolutely use them together. But we're going to get you set up in the Discord with OC guys so that you can get Chart Prime, and then 28 hours a month, OC and or Alex O Crypto are teaching people how to use Chart Prime on their Discord. So we're going to get you set up, FD. Don't worry about it. If you guys want to get that Chart Prime, don't worry. We have a, oh, sorry. There we go. We do have a 45% off code for your first monthly or quarterly down below. It is the biggest discount in the market. So I want to jump over to my chart, because I got this thing going on here. I did have to make some adjustments to the, this is the total 2. This is the alt season chart, right? I guess I'm going to have to come for some CP lessons. I got you. Yes, there you go. Alex O Crypto in the house there. Guys, check it out. I did make some adjustments here. I moved this down to these previous wicks here. Why? Because it's playing out very well right here, right now. And then when I was looking at this, I did see a couple of things here. Let's go over here and let's look at the previous season on total 2. And if you guys are wondering what this is the total market cap minus Bitcoin. This is AKA altcoin season, right? And you can see here what happened with those tests before the breakup. after we broke out of the little cup of consolidation there on total 2. And if we turn on this little trend line here, you can see we had a nice trend, and then we broke it right before the pump up, but right after the retest of this level. Let's go to the current cycle and let's take a look at this. This is another pattern that is building here, and you can see it's respecting this nice trend of 2 different double tops here right before the breakup. If we were to take something that happened here and apply it to the new one, what would it look like? Well, I've done the work for you. There you go. Guys, this is what we could be setting up. And keep in mind, these are 1 week candles. So this would be somewhere around September, after the summer, which is what we've talked about post-summer, for the coins to really take off and move. Guys, this could be a very realistic prediction and projection of what we could see with price action on altcoins. I do think we're going to see altcoin season kicking in somewhere around the end of August. So that's going to get us through this entire cycle that we have right now of sideways, boring pullbacks, before we get that next big run up on crypto. So that's what I'm watching there on that total 2, guys. So OC, what do you got for us? I haven't seen a lot of alts being requested in there. So do you have anything that you're watching right now? And then I'll pull up what I'm watching. So
yes, I'm watching an Atom and also watching at Thea. So let's take a look at Thea, because we made yesterday, or no, 2 days ago, Monday, I believe so, we had an update or a look through what could be happening. I know it's a little bit messy. Bear with me here. Let me just clean this up a little bit so we can see what's happening here. And also just bear in mind that we have this line in here, right? So in fact, let me just leave that as is. And that will be it. So my confluence zone was all the way up here, but also I was above the dynamic reactor, sorry, the 0 line in here, and I was trying to make that push through the dynamic reactor. This was my dynamic reactor, an area of resistance that I was looking at. So we were looking at that push through, and remember, we had the next confluence box all the way up here. So what happened? Look at that alert, right? As you can see, and if I bring this up, let's go take a look at Thea, July the 9th, right? Created the same yesterday, July the 9th. Oh, come on. There we go. Created at 15 and then ranked at 22 hours. So basically, look at that beautiful take on that alert, and then beautiful short. Right now, I'm looking for a flip of the ribbon for a possible continuation back into my confluence box in here. This confluence box have been getting a little bit smaller, and that is because our order block that was right down here is no longer a thing. So I will just be only incorporating the dynamic reactor and the fair value gap in there. Let me just see if I have anything else. Oh no, you know, look at that. We still have that fair value gap. Sorry, that order block right there. So let's just update that. That is gonna be my next support box, and as you can see, we are right there. So the only thing missing, it is the flip of the ribbon before I do enter for a long position. So you guys have been warned. This is not financial advice, but this is the setup for the remaining week. So yeah.
Awesome. I've got Caspa up, but I want to give a shout out to Alex O. He said, I love it when Piper talks hopium. It's my favorite. So yeah, I love to hand out hopium. We also had a request for Ondo. I'm going to hit that one up, and then we have Injective. If you can knock out Injective OC, I'll grab Ondo right after this. So looking here at Caspa, guys. Caspa, I said this yesterday or the day before. I don't know. Days run together when you're retired, guys. I just want to show you guys, if I turn off all of the drawings here, and we turn off these indicators, let's just turn off those EMA ribbons, clean this up a little bit. We'll leave the dynamic reactor on there. Why not? And we take a look at the weekly here on Caspa, guys. Caspa is such a bullish price structure. Not getting into, yeah, we've had these big pullback candles, but higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. We keep doing this, right? What I'm watching for in Caspa right now is, let me turn everything back on again. There we go. What I'm watching here is that we have this range here of the phase 8 golden pocket is coming in at about 17.8 cents, right there above us. And then we have a phase golden pocket. Phase 9 is 17.8 cents. The phase 8 is sitting at 16.1 here. We are getting good support off of the 50-day exponential moving average. We had a perfect wick to the 100-day moving average. Everything's pointing upwards. This is still extremely bullish. Prime score sitting at an 8 on the daily, and the prophecy is giving us a market pump. So watch for us to come back in here and retest this phase 8 golden pocket at 16.1 cents, maybe a wick down to this 50-day. I'm looking for us to get an upside move here again on CASPA. If we do pull down below the 50, we've got this 100, which has been super, super strong support there. Not even making it to the dynamic reactor. The exponential moving averages, the EMAs are all running strong on this. So yeah, I'm very bullish on CASPA. If you take a look here, what's going on the daily for the oscillator, it does look like we're about to get a zero line bounce to the upside, and the RSI prime is looking very healthy and strong for CASPA upside movement. Let's go ahead and kick it over to OC. He's got Injective up, and then I'll come back and do Ondo, see where we're at on time. So.
Absolutely. Yesterday, I also had a request on the private classes of Injective. It seems like it's been following along. So you'll see that I have circled every single time that we have gone through the dynamic reactor, right? Also, I was looking for a possible bounce at the money flow POC, which, by the way, we did have that little bit of a bounce, and then finally we came breaking down. Why? Because also look at the flip of the ribbon. It did not happen. Remember that I'm looking at support with the flip of the ribbon for my entry. And did we have the flip of the ribbon? Of course we didn't. As we had the flip of the ribbon, look at exactly where it was located, right here. And beautiful one candle after movement. It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and off we go. Then we have a bounce on that loud order block. Let me clean this up, and now we're going back to the money flow. Remember, previous supports becomes new resistance. Not only that, we also have dynamic reactor. Remember what I circled before. Every single time that we have touched the dynamic reactor, we have a reversal, right? And what had happened here, or what is happening here, a little bit more of the same. What is going to be defining whether we break through or not? There's going to be two things here. First of all, remember, keeping the trend alive. The trend is your friend until the end, and we have two main trends in here. So I'm going to be drawing those two manually, and then also looking for my oscillator. As soon as I have a flip of the ribbon at support or at support, any of those 2 points could be my entry for a long position to the upside. So if I bounce here and I twist up, well then most likely I will be breaking through dynamic reactor, but be careful because right there after dynamic reactor, we have a high order block that's going to be acting as a big resistance. If we fail this trend line, which I believe is the most likely scenario, we are going to go all the way down here to the previous trend line where we also have a loud order block. And for me, that will be a much better possible entry if Bitcoin holds. Remember, everything it's depending on Bitcoin not to drop hard, right? And after that, remember staying above the zero line. Other than that, remember, we're still bearish. Usually when we're bearish, we favor shorts over longs, but seems like we want to make that push through to a bullish scenario. So yeah, other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
All right, let's jump over. Check out Ondo, man. Ondo, guys, we had, just to refresh you, we had this pattern here. We did break out of it, did a rejection off of it, downside move, lost that value area high on the fixed range volume profile. Let me show you where that's being pulled from, just so you guys got it on your chart right there. Fixed range volume profile. You see this big volume node? That's the point of control. That is what that is. It is the heaviest amount of volume in that fixed range volume profile. There you go. Looking at what we have going on here, we are sitting beneath the golden pocket right now. We also lost that value area high in addition to the golden pocket, and we fell down, finding support with the candle close on the platinum pocket. That 786 coming in at 89.1 cents. One thing that I'm going to be watching here is this. I do believe that we are, because you can see this yellow line. That's the 100-day exponential moving average. This green one up here, that's the 50. I do think that right now we're getting a rejection off of this. Watch for us to come down, because when we lose a value area high, we tend to move to the point of control. That point of control is coming in strong confluence right across the 887 of the platinum pocket at 81.4 cents. If we do not get above the 100-day moving average and recapture this entire range here of the golden pocket, I think that we're going to come down and into the into the platinum pocket, hit that point of control, and that would be a prime buy area. Let's go ahead and throw a rectangle box on there, and we will get that as a buy area for myself. Because, not financial advice, right? There you go. There's a little buy box down there. And if you guys come over here, click this little plus area, you can just set an alert. And now we have an alert down there too. I'll get notified when that happens. I'll take a look at those oscillators then and see how they look. And if I have enough confluence, that will be where I will get in for some more buy-in and some longs. Also, another thing that I'm looking at here, guys, is this on the oscillators. Let me go ahead and pull up the brush. We are getting pretty close to the top here on the RSI primed on the 4-hour, hitting that 70%. You can see that is a nice rejection area for RSI. That would be this area here before we came down, and this area here before we came down. So we could get up in here to the golden pocket, but then look for us to exit from that area before heading down to this target here. That would be what I would watch there. Also, Oscillator Pro does have a little bit more upside there. Also, you can see there we had that little downtrend, and then we got that ribbon flip there. So there's a lot of confluence on these two oscillators here when you're looking at Ondo price action. I think we do have the potential today to come up into the golden pocket, but watch for another rejection up there at about $1, and then look for this to be your pickup area, 81.4 cents. Let's kick it over to OC, see what he's looking at.
Absolutely. Guys, I want to double down on Injective because we are seeing something very, very interesting here. And I think this is a great opportunity to look for what we always call as confluence, right? So there's going to be a little bit of a segment of education. Look at this. Remember this little arrow that we had there? That was because we have the order block and also we have the trend line, right? So look at how well everything is pairing, right? So once again, if Bitcoin holds, I think Injective would be one of those ones that is going to be bouncing hard and breaking to dynamic reactor, despite we have a high order blocking here. Why? Remember, where is this loud order blocking? Let me just make it big, right? We have the arrow right there pointing at that loud order block. So remember, loud is the strongest of them all. Then if I go to fair value gaps, what do I have right there on the same exact point, right? And then if I go to something like support and resistances, well, guess what we also have there? A support and also a liquidity zone right there. So we have up to 4 indicators pointing at a support area, building up multi-confluence scenarios. Where is my next big scenario, big confluence zone? All the way up here, which could be giving us a very nice opportunity for a trade of 28%, no leverage. And if you do 10x, which I'm not advising you do any leverage, but I usually do 10x, we're gonna be looking at 284 possible gains if we reach all the way down here and then break all the way up there. So that is a great opportunity. So other than that, I think that's my last minute scenario. I just want you guys to note when we have confluence, because confluence, that is the name of the game. And turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. I just got notification. I was looking at my notifications. I got notification of delivery today. My book from Billy Goat Tales, The Bridge to Bitcoin, the kids' book, will be here today. So it's going to be sitting right here on my thing. So when I'm in the solo screen, you'll see right there the book. So I'm very excited about that. So yeah, it's going to be here today. I'm very excited about it. And then I'm going to have to get another copy because I think I'm going to keep that copy. I'm going to have to buy another copy to send to my niece, Ray Ann Shipley, who you guys see in the chat here sometimes. So she needs to know about Bitcoin. She needs to know about it. And then we need to teach her to hodl like it's hot. So shout out to Crypto Keeper and Nick Crusaders. So that is all we have time for today, OC. Thanks for joining me here today, bro. But I see you and FD White have already been talking in Discord. I've already hooked that up, so that's going to happen. And then Alex O Crypto said, hit me up. I will help you out also. So he's going to be doing some one-on-one with them, I believe, to get him going on Chart Prime. So OC, thanks, man. Do you got anything for the people on the way out?
Absolutely, I do. I do have a great reminder for everybody to click that like button right down there, because if you do and you have smaller kids or younger kids, they're going to be dropping like that soon, early tonight, and then won't be bugging you for the rest of the night. Don't believe me? Try to hit that like button and see them drop like a stud.
Yes, I don't want my kids to go to bed too early, though, because then they're up too early. Tire themselves out, go to bed when I go to bed, and then in the morning wake up at a normal time, not screaming and throwing sticky Cheerios. That's the goal. Ask Amy Lives Crypto. She knows this game well. She's a super mom and a super content creator. So yeah, guys, that's what we have time for. Remember, tomorrow morning before we go live, 6:30 a.m. my time. That is 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast. We're going to be getting that data dropping for CPI. That is going to be important information to know about, and you guys need to be watching for that tomorrow morning. I'll drop some stuff on X as it's coming out so that you guys can get it there. But that is all we have time for today. So I appreciate you all for joining us. Guys, we will be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge. We'll catch you guys here tomorrow. Trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. Sound off to get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!